Principal. Concluding, Ms Lauder.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm pleased to speak to this bill today. It's part of the continuing attempts by the Canberra Liberals to address the current crisis Canberra is experiencing in dog management. It's a public health and welfare issue, and it's a dog welfare issue, and I'm appalled at the continued lack of action by this government. The Greens and Labor are continuing to take steps to make Canberra safer for our citizens and our beloved pets. I too have consulted widely with stakeholders. The majority of people that I've spoken to, especially those who've sought me out on this issue, are those who've personally been attacked by a dog and or those whose beloved family pet has been mauled, often in front of them, injured, permanently maimed and even killed. So the government's own reports seem to be lying languishing with no action being taken. Last year we heard of the Maxwell Review, which the government received in April of 2018, released over 5 months later, and of the 33 recommendations, doesn't appear as though any of them have been implemented. It's now February 2019. What has the government done since the Maxwell report to make Canberra safer for its citizens? This bill addresses some of the items identified in the Maxwell Review, which included recommendation 11.3 of fees reduced for training. The government's response to this recommendation said it was noted, and the Maxwell report's recommendation number 28 said remove barriers to relinquished dogs, e.g. costs. And the government's response to this was it said it agreed and applied it had already acted, and I'll come back to that again a bit later, Madam Speaker. So the amendment bill that I put to the Assembly late last year has 3 parts to it. It encourages responsible dog owners to be well trained, not just the dog. When you go to dog training, it's generally more about training the owner or the handler than training the dog, is what I've found in my experience of many dogs over the years. So our proposal that no dog registration fee would be payable if the owner successfully completes approved dog training would encourage, in our view, people to attend those approved dog training courses and learn more about responsible dog ownership, learn more about socialisation and interacting with other dogs. The second part was to encourage people to deal appropriately and humanely with their unwanted dogs. Currently, the fee payable to relinquish a dog at $60.70, as far as I'm aware, would be abolished. We can discourage people from keeping unwanted dogs that they may now leave in their backyard untrained, unwanted, unattended. Because for some people, that fee could be a barrier. And I take the point that in some cases the fee may be waived, but if you look up the information about DAS, you will see that there's a fee payable, and that can be enough of a deterrent to stop some owners from going further. We also are looking to discourage people from choosing to keep dangerous dogs by doubling the fee for a dangerous dog licence. Now, why is it that we're determined to deal with this issue? It's because there's been a 25% increase in dog attacks and a 30% increase in dog attack over the past year and 30% increase year on year for the past 5 years. It's a massive increase in Canberrans being injured. I've asked a series of questions, Madam Speaker, about dogs and the way they're handled, and it's been, I must say, sometimes difficult to get the requisite information. But it does appear, from the information I've received, that the government doesn't appear to care about injuries to Canberrans, and we do. We heard earlier this morning when Mr Hanson talked about outlaw motorcycle gangs that We're elected to serve the people, and a core responsibility of a government is to keep its citizens safe. That is not happening here. We have a long history of working in this particular area. What I'm concerned about is that the government is likely to introduce annual dog registration. And of course, Madam Speaker, that's just a great big new tax. It's a tax on responsible dog owners rather than focusing on irresponsible dog owners. It will be a windfall in the taxes collected by the government, potentially over $3 million, depending on the way they approach it and based on an average dog age of 12 years. The fines under the Dog Act have been trending down over a decade. The money earned from infringements has been trending down. Income from court fines, apparently none in the past 4 years. Dogs surrendered down over a decade. So whilst it's absolutely vital, and I think the vast majority of Canberrans would agree it's vital to focus on animal welfare issues, we also must focus on making sure Canberra is a safe city for our residents and our pets. So I repeat my comment of what has the government actually done in the past year or so, because whatever they've done or not done, it's not working. I refer to articles in the Canberra Times, July, almost 220 dog attacks in a horror 5 months for the ACT.